Bankless Nation, welcome to another State of the Nation episode. The question on the menu today is, are NFTs back? David, they had a fantastic week last week, but they've been down pretty bad recently, and we have brought the perfect guest on to talk about the future of NFTs. Garyvee, Gary Vaynerchuk, which launched one of the most successful NFT projects that have been launched to date. It's a project called VeeFriends. Now, he was here a year and a half ago, and he actually announced the launch of VeeFriends partially on the Bankless podcast. So we wanted to regroup with Gary and talk a little bit about the future of NFTs. David, what should listeners look out for in this episode? What should they pay attention to? And why are we talking about this now?
Yeah, there's two worlds of the NFT world. There are the internal to crypto NFT projects, and then there's the creators out there who are leveraging this new technology to express themselves to their communities and interact with their communities in brand new ways. And that is really the frontier that Gary is pioneering, how to have NFTs as a communication vehicle between him and his very engaged fan base. And so as NFTs have changed from the mania of 2021 that was to the current build market that is of 2022, we want to pick Gary's brain as to what it's like to be an NFT creator in the era of 2022 NFTs. So that's what I'm paying attention to, is how to leverage NFTs to engage with your fans now that the hype cycle is behind us, Ryan.
I think some of these build market projects, NFT projects, are going to come out a lot stronger on the other side of this, and VeeFriends may be one to watch as well. Guys, we'll be right back with the episode with Garyvee talking all about NFTs. But before we do, we want to thank the sponsors that made this episode possible.
ARBITRUM 1 is pioneering the world of secure Ethereum scalability and is continuing to accelerate the Web3 landscape. Hundreds of projects have already deployed on ARBITRUM 1, producing flourishing DeFi and NFT ecosystems. With the recent addition of ARBITRUM Nova, gaming and social dApps like Reddit are also now calling ARBITRUM home. Both ARBITRUM 1 and Nova leverage the security and decentralization of Ethereum and provide a builder experience that's intuitive, familiar, and fully EVM compatible. On ARBITRUM, both builders and users will experience faster transaction speeds with significantly lower gas fees. With ARBITRUM's recent migration to ARBITRUM Nitro, it's also now 10 times faster than before. Visit arbitrum.io, where you can join the community, dive into the developer docs, bridge your assets, and start building your first dApp. With ARBITRUM, experience Web3 development the way it was meant to be: secure, fast, cheap, and friction-free. The Brave Wallet is your secure multi-chain on-ramp into Web3, and it's built directly into the Brave privacy browser. Gone are the days of managing multiple wallet extensions that put you at risk of phishing, spoofs, and tracking. With the Brave Wallet, you can securely manage your crypto assets across more than 100 different chains, including Ethereum, Layer 2s, Solana, and more, all without downloading risky extensions. The Brave Wallet is easy to set up and removes the headache of jumping between wallets and extensions. It's lightweight, but packed with great features, like built-in token swaps, buying and holding NFTs with a gallery view, and support for hardware wallets. But also much more than that, because Brave is shipping new features every single month, with a mission to make Web3 easier to navigate for its over 55 million users. Wallet extensions are a thing of the past, so get started with Brave's Web3-ready browser today and experience a decentralized web seamlessly without all the clutter. You can download the browser at brave.com/bankless and click the wallet icon to get started. NEXO is your financial hub for all your crypto needs. NEXO lets you buy crypto instantly with your credit or debit card or via bank transfer. They also have an awesome advanced trading platform called NEXO Pro that pays you rewards when you swap crypto assets. And NEXO also lets you earn interest on your crypto in Bitcoin, ETH, or other assets. And they also give you an instant crypto line of credit with as low as 0% APR. And they also give you access to a crypto-backed MasterCard, of course, earning you more crypto when you use it. So, enhance your financial life with NEXO, who ensures all credit lines are over-collateralized with insurance on all custodial assets. NEXO, the right place for your crypto. So click the link in the show notes to join over 5 million users who are getting the most out of their crypto.
All right, guys, I want to introduce you yet again to Garyvee, second time on the podcast, the first time he launched the VeeFriends NFT. We're going to talk about that. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's an internet personality, of course, the founder of VeeFriends, which is an NFT project that helps him enhance his community, perks, access, got all sorts of things. We want to explore NFTs today, and including, I think, towards the end, Gary has something special to announce for the community. So we're going to talk about that as well. Gary, what's up, man? Welcome back to Bankless.
It's so good to be with you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody who's watching. It's a rainy day here in New York City.
Indeed it is.
But I'm grinding along. It's been a big day.
Well, you know what? Grinding, I think, is a good theme, right? Because we're, at least in the wider crypto world, we're in kind of this bear market, you know? And so that's what people tell me anyway. I'm not feeling particularly bearish, but some people are. Prices are down in a lot of areas. It's been about a year and a half. I think you came on in May of some time, 2021.
Yep.
In launching VeeFriends during kind of this secular bull market that we had in NFTs and crypto, like in general. Tell us what you've been up to since that time. Like, catch us up and give people a feel, if you will, Gary, for like, what is the VeeFriends project itself? Like, what is the purpose of it? And what have you been working on since we last spoke?
I mean, since we last spoke, a ton, because that was just the launch of Series 1. Since then, that August, September, I created something called Book Games, where if you bought 12 copies of my latest book, you would get NFTs that I did on Immutable, which then became like functional for something I did in January where there was an exchange, and then that triggered advantages to get Series 2 mints and special Series 2s that nobody else could get. Series 2 came out in May of this year, or in April, and then the big play, the original premise of VeeFriends was to establish intellectual property, Smurfs, Scooby-Doo, all that stuff, and Disney, Pokemon. Like, how substantial of a Sesame Street-like IP can I create? Because it's something I've always wanted to do. If you look at, you look at wrestling and toys and garage sales, this has been an obsession of mine. I thought I was going to buy a nostalgic IP. This was something I talked a lot about in my career. Once I saw the NFT realities of 2021, it was funny, when I saw CryptoKitties in 17, I was like, huh, but I didn't really get there. 2020 NBA Top Shot, and then that brought me quickly to CryptoPunks, and I was like, oh. And then obviously everything that happened that winter into 2021. So the mission has always been build intellectual property, things like the Uno collaboration. Like, I've got to build these characters. Now, at a higher level, the characters are meant to do what Gary Vaynerchuk likes doing as Garyvee, which is spread positivity and kindness and compassion and patience, but also tenacity and work ethic. And, I think we've become so blue and red, and I'm so deeply passionate about purple. The world has become or. It's really about and I have a substantial mission for VeeFriends to be a positive impact on the universe, the way Marvel and Sesame Street and other intellectual properties have done so. And so that's been the focus. On top of that, to make the initial cost valuable to people, I did a 3-year super conference, right, called VCon. And so since we last talked, I think I had one of the most substantial events in the space, which was in Minnesota at US Bank Stadium. We had 8,000 people there. It was an incredible 4-day weekend. We had an incredible amount of speakers and just enormous amounts of love and positivity and practicality. And to me, I'm very proud of the initial costs of VeeFriends being valuable to the 3 events that people are going to. We'll be announcing VCon 2023 probably this month, which is way ahead of what we did last year. We've learned a lot. Uno collaborations, merchandise collaborations, a Reebok sneaker collaboration that is coming, trading cards that if you go to eBay right now have completely dominated, which has been huge for me. So, like little subtle things, I keep trying to expand the IP. Like, I grew up loving Flintstones vitamins. I did a collab with Mary Ruth.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so, I've been doing a lot. What I haven't been doing is, look, I said my piece. I put out an obnoxious amount of content in the height of the height of the height. And I already see you smiling there, David, so you know where I'm about to go. I have unlimited receipts of saying 99% of the projects that were booming in the boom were going to zero. Mm-hmm. So why I believe that? Because I saw the behaviors. I felt it was internet stocks. I mean, I said it constantly. You guys both know this. So what I've been doing is the thing I said I was going to do, which is operate and work. I've built a 45, 50-person team. I've got another 30 hires. I have meetings every day. I raise capital from Andreessen Horowitz because I want to be around. I don't know how. Look, we're in a bear market. I don't know who's excited. Forget about crypto. Is anybody paying attention to the severity of the war in Europe, the macro politics there, the inflation, the underlining reports from FedEx, housing's about to crash? I really believe that. A lot of companies, consumer confidence is down. And so, I don't know, like, I don't expect the great winter, you know? And so, like, it's not like this, my stock portfolio doesn't look good either compared to last summer. And my trading cards don't look great. And I don't know what, you know, people expect. Like, the economies don't go on forever, right? And so, you know, what have I been doing? Everything I said I was going to do, right? Which is like really work really, really hard. And I'm very proud of the work I'm doing. And we've got a lot of work to do. And to get to the audacity of saying things like Marvel or Scooby-Doo or Hanna-Barbera or Transformers, that's going to take the rest of my career. And that's what I plan on doing. This is forever for me. And I've got to create demand and interest and character development. Like, I've got an ecosystem, and then I have to do incredible, interesting technology. Like, one thing I've not alluded to at all, I know my Discord's about to blow up. Let me go into my Discord to see if any, because I know a lot of them are watching. You know, I've been doing a lot of tech innovation. We have a hefty tech team who's been building something I'm very excited about, that will hit the day of life this year. And it's pretty advanced tech. You know, you got a lot of Web 2, a lot of Web 3. We're playing a lot in Web 2.5. Do you need everything to be anonymous? That's how it felt 18 months ago. Now, is username and sign in worth it to make the utilities of the things? Like, it's super fun. And then, to your point, what else have I been doing? I've been staying mentally strong while the, you know, market in the macro has been incredibly affected. And I'm incredibly compassionate that there's anxiety and concern and angst and winter vibes. I hope and pray that everybody heard rule number one, which was consistent, which is do not spend money you can't afford to lose in these high things. You know, a lot of people did. And, you know, I continue to try to provide value. Like, I love that you can continue to add utility, right? I did this incredible meetup at my dad's store, the wine library, for people that had the wine cellar. It was a great time. We've done some great stuff with my pickleball team, meetups, and then unofficial things. I'm in Germany giving a keynote. Let's go meet up with 200 VeeFriends holders. So just really focused, you know, just incredibly focused, and focused like an athlete. Like my New York Jets, who beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend. They were down by 10 points very late in the game. The fans in Pittsburgh were cheering with 7 minutes to go, laughing at my Jets. The Jet fans were concerned, booing their own players. I have to be an athlete on the field. I can't, even my most ardent believers pre-VeeFriends have said things in Discord and Twitter that hurt my feelings, but I understand why. They have financial losses on paper if they haven't sold yet. And it doesn't feel good when something's worth something and then it's not. But I have to stay focused on the field and tune out any positive or negative comments. Just like when I was getting the accolades last winter, I didn't hear it. I needed to focus on the mission. And that's what I'm focused on, like a falcon. Mm-hmm. Focus Falcon's a big VeeFriend. I'm focused like a falcon, and I'm going to let history be the judge, not me. Fuck me. Mm-hmm. And definitely not anonymous accounts on Twitter who've got opinions who've never operated a paper bag, let alone a big company.
Sure. Gary, there's a lot of just NFT projects out there, and some, like you said, have trended to zero. Others are keeping their head above water. Others are doing fine. What are you doing that you think is working? Like, what's the secret sauce to make an NFT project work these days? And what things might an NFT project need to jettison if it's not working? It's like, what things are we keeping? What things are we doubling down on? What things are we jettisoning?
I don't judge something working based on floor price. Mm.
Sure. Yes, but like community energy, community like engagement, et cetera.
You can't value that either. Too many people are financially incentivized, and everyone's getting smoked. Mm. And then whatever criteria of success you want. Well, that's what I'm setting it up, right? Yeah. Like, to your point, David, I think people are very confused about businesses. Like, Facebook was a disaster this many months in. Like, I'm pumped for Invisible People. I'm pumped for, creatures. I'm pumped for World of Wit. People are working. The problem is they're all publicly traded company DNA now, right? Like, people care about it day to day. I just want to tell everybody, because I was close to these companies. They're the fucking receipts right there. This is like, back to receipts. I'm in the fucking Robert Sala mood. Like, this is an email from Uber thanking my brother for being the first rider of Uber in New York.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
These are fucking receipts, brother. Like, and I can tell you right now, 18, 24 months in, none of these companies looked great.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking willing to judge fucking Bored Ape yet. I'm not willing to judge any of these projects yet. And so I think, like, I don't know, like, what to answer your question, the people. I'm building an organization. I'm focused on the people, the process, like, there's missteps along the way. The gift goat has not gone as well as I want to. I've jumped in. I'm trying to work it, but it takes months for these things to, execute on. So I focus on that. I'm excited about, like, the people I'm bringing in, the talent. I just, my partner in Empathy Wines, John Troutman, just finished his earnout at Constellation. He's coming to consult with VeeFriends. That's a note. When you're a head coach and you're bringing back one of your assistants, like, I don't know, I'm focused out here. So anyway, to answer your question, the things that are working, what you keep is the people on your team that can do shit. What's not working, people that can't do shit, and you've given them a chance, but they haven't, you gotta really go. And so I'm an operator, like, and I'm not willing to put my head up from the sea and see what the stock ticker says. It has nothing to do with anything for me. Meaning, I'd love for everything to be rosy, but I'm not in control of that. I didn't call Putin and say, go attack Ukraine. That wasn't me. I've got to focus on fucking VeeFriends. And what I'm doing is laying the foundation for a lot of people to care about these characters, which will build a real company, which will allow me to do incredible things for the people that hold the NFTs.
What's interesting to me is, right, so as you said, like, over 99% of these NFT projects are going to die this bear cycle, right? Like, we have to be real about that. But 1% might survive. It might be a fraction of 1%. What's it going to take? What does it take to survive during the bear market? And Gary, what's it going to take to restore confidence in NFTs? Like, when are NFTs actually going to come back? Is there some feature that we have to unlock? Is there a focus area? Is it like all about utility now? Like, what's the new meta, and how do we get out of this bear market?
Couple of things. I want to apologize to Dewey Perrin, who just said in the comments, I think this guy's insufferable. So obviously I want to apologize for that, because I don't want to make Dewey upset. I think people have to provide value. To your point, when Marvel comic books came out in the 40s, right, 30s, what have you, after years of cartoons and toys and other comics, people then cared, and all of a sudden you cared to own, a Spider-Man or a Superman in DC or Batman. And so if you're talking about collectible value, like, I just want to own this, like a Andy Warhol or a Spider-Man #1 or a Jordan sneaker, that takes decades. Which is why I made those videos about 99% to zero. Like, it wasn't going to work. Like, it went too high, more like Beanie Babies or stocks like pets.com. In the short term, to your point, it's going to be utility. What that utility is access, other items, physical items, community events. The thing that I started VeeFriends with, like, VeeFriends were sold with an underlining 3-year super conference that justified the initial cost. Then shit got crazy, and depending on when you got in, it changed the variable. But the original layout was thoughtful to this moment, because you need to provide value, right? And so I think, every project needs to think about, this is the beauty of the blockchain. Can I add more value for the person that's holding it? Value comes in a million different things. I just did something with the gift goats. I mentioned that I'm not happy with, the gifts that I've been sending. I need to do a better job. I added NFTs as part of it early on, and I think that might have fucked with my psychology, but they want the gift. And then I added a new thing this October. The gift goats and I are going to be in Atlanta for 2 hours in an epic basketball court, right, with Shaquille O'Neal. That's just a very small group. Probably only 100 to 200 of the 555 gift codes can make it, because they're all over the world. an intimate 2 hours of business Q&A, some fun and games, some photos, some hanging out, like
How'd you get Shaq on board?
I use my business development skills. I also have a lot of relationships. This is why I'm confident. This is why I keep believing in myself. Like, brother, I'm not going to stop until it's good. Like, I don't understand how anybody doesn't understand that. I'd rather fucking die than let cynics be able to write the history of VeeFriends not being a good project. I can do this forever. I'm going to do this forever.
So are you like all in on like NFTs? I know, I mean,
I'm all in on NFTs. The NFT technology is remarkable. It's insane.
Why don't people see it, Gary? Because a lot of people don't see it.
Because the first year of people discovering it, their scammiest friend made $83,000 selling a penguin with a penis in its eye. Think about that. Of course normal people don't get it. They're right. It's the same reason people didn't get the internet in 99. You had normal people saying, how the hell is pets.com worth $85 billion? They haven't sold any stuff yet. I'm not even sure chewy.com has that valuation, Mm-hmm. So like, because they're right. The greed took over. The short-term flipping took over. And that shadowed the incredible, black and white of the incredible technology infrastructure of a global scaled ledger that can affirm ownership, that can unlock everything.
You know what's interesting about this market, and it's maybe different than other businesses you've run, but like you tell me, it's like people aren't used to the volatility of crypto. Like it messes with their minds. It messes with them psychologically, right?
Right. We've seen the internet before, but like attaching prices and tickers to these things is weird. It throws people around.
I'm empathetic, man. Money fucks up things.
Yeah.
I mean, the highs are so high and the lows are so low, and
they have to play with money they can afford to lose. It's a volatile asset right now.
Do you see that ever changing?
Of course. When this becomes normalized, of course. But I also think it changes in certain projects. Like, it has to be able to do something. It can't be a speculative thing. This is why I've always liked NFTs. I understood that the entrepreneurs could create the thing it does, mm-hmm. right? Like, whereas with and currencies can too, but I just think too many people relying on comic book and art and toy flipping and baseball cards, not enough on operational business. Like, you need to think like Amex Black Card and Chase Rewards and Live Nation and Topps and Mattel. Like, you have to think bigger business.
Are you seeing these big businesses like continuing to build during the bear market? So David and I just did an episode last week, and like we noticed like Disney is hiring lawyers, IP specialists to specialize in their blockchain IP technology. I mean, Sotheby's just rolled out an entire platform for NFT art. And these things during the bull run, I mean, they were shouted from the rooftops. Everyone was talking about it. Now, during kind of the bear run, some of the developments of these like companies are completely unnoticed. Like, no one even pays attention. No one cares. What are you seeing from your side? Are big companies entering the game?
It's like, my energy is very matter of fact, man, because like, it's almost as if nobody heard all the logical conversation of last year from me or anybody else, right? Like, yes, this is one of the biggest technology shifts of the human race. But everything was so caught up in the short-term flip game that it just clouded. Yes, to your point, if you have Google alerts on NFT right now and you read what's happening day to day, you would be bullish. You're not bullish because you bought a NFT for $8,000 that's now trading at $600 and you're mad. And you're supposed to be mad, I get it. But I hope that you're also mad at yourself that you knew you were taking a risk. Like, don't be mad at anybody but yourself kind of thing. Accountability is important. Like, I have a ton of things that have gone poorly and I'm like, ugh, I got caught up, I got excited. But I also was buying for different reasons. I was trying to learn. This is why I was petrified. The only thing I tweeted more then 99% of going to zero was don't buy what I'm buying. Because I knew I was buying things because I wanted to learn how people were going to do things. And if it was in my wallet, see if they, like, I was in discovery mode, supporting people that I just met on Twitter because I want to. That's not a good investment thesis. I like this person. I want to support their art. So
there are worse investment theses out there than that, though.
Yeah, there is. And I think, thank you. And I feel good about it. But I'm in a curious spot. I have a lot of eyes on me. And so I'm empathetic to it. But yeah, brother, Disney's really not fooling around. Mattel is not fooling around. Pokemon's not this is real stuff.
Yeah. We've actually been given the privilege of having this embargoed, now released announcement for what you are doing with Toys R Us, which is something we want to get into, and how this is kind of emblematic of just more and more companies starting to take the NFT pill. So Gary, we want to talk about that, along with your very engaged, almost 1,000 followers or community members here in the YouTube comments. So we're going to talk about all of this and more right after we talk to some of these fantastic sponsors that make the show possible. In all of my years in crypto, I've never been hacked, scammed, or lost money to a thief, and a lot of that credit goes to my Ledger hardware wallet. The Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S Plus hardware wallets allow users like you and me to secure and manage all of our crypto assets and our NFTs, all with the security of storing users' private keys offline and out of reach from hackers. The Ledger Nano X is the perfect hardware wallet for managing your crypto and NFTs on the go because it connects to your phone with Bluetooth and has a nice big screen for easy transaction readings. Ledger has also upgraded the iconic Ledger Nano S and made the new Ledger Nano S device more DeFi and NFT friendly, making it the perfect hardware wallet for beginners. Ledger has truly maximized for both ease of use and security. So discover which Ledger device is best suited for your journey by going and visiting shop.ledger.com. If you've been listening to Bankless, you know that we're fans of the modular blockchain thesis. The idea that blockchains will separate execution from data availability and consensus, allowing all three to become the best versions of themselves. And Fuel has built the fastest modular execution layer in the industry. By supporting parallel transaction execution, Fuel unlocks significantly faster throughput for the Web3 world. Fuel also goes beyond the limitations of the EVM with its own Fuel VM, which is more efficient and optimized, opening up the design space for developers. And lastly, Fuel brings a powerful developer experience with its own domain-specific language, Sway, and a supportive toolchain called Fork. With Fuel, you can have the benefits of smart contract languages like Solidity while adopting the improvements made by the Rust tooling ecosystem, letting the Fuel development environment go beyond the limitations of the EVM. If you want to learn more, there's a link in the show notes to see how you can get involved with the Fuel network. The Layer 2 era is upon us. Ethereum's Layer 2 ecosystem is growing every day, and we need Layer 2 bridges to be fast and efficient in order to live a Layer 2 life. Across is the fastest, cheapest, and most secure cross-chain bridge. With Across, you don't have to worry about high fees or long wait times. Assets are bridged and available for use almost instantaneously. Across's bridges are powered by UMA's optimistic oracle to securely transfer tokens between Layer 2s and Ethereum. Across is critical ecosystem infrastructure, and Across V2 has just launched. Their new version focuses on higher capital efficiency, Layer 2 to Layer 2 transfers, and a brand new chain with Polygon, all while prioritizing high security and low fees. You can be a part of Across's story by joining their Discord and using Across for all of your Layer 2 transferring needs. So go to across.to to quickly and securely bridge your assets between Ethereum, Optimism, Polygon, ARBITRUM, or Boba networks.
Hey guys, we are back with Garyvee talking all about NFTs. Where'd they go? Are they back? What's going to be the next thing that is going to happen in the NFT world? Gary, I'll tell you one thing that's going to happen because you guys announced it today. This is a big VeeFriends announcement, and this is on what we were just talking about, big companies entering the game here. You've got a collaboration of collectible characters with Macy's and Toys R Us. Is that what's happening?
It's a big deal for me. All 400 plus Macy's around the country that have Toys R Us store within stores will be getting VeeFriends literally, right next to G.I. Joe and My Little Pony and Transformers and Pokemon, VeeFriends end caps everywhere, plush and collectible, and then blind bags, little ones. It's a huge deal. It's also huge. I haven't talked about it. I'm giving you kind of the exclusive. The flow code is going to be a big deal. Right now it's a preview page, but long form content around the character development. Think He-Man. So He-Man came out as toys earlier than the cartoon was ready. So they put little comic books in the toy so that you could get into He-Man because there was no way to get into He-Man. 99% of the people that are going to see this in Macy's, Toys R Us stores around the country have no idea what VeeFriends are. So kids are going to kind of like hopefully fall in love with the imagery. This wizard is super cool. Right. And so
Nice.
like, you know, but the storytelling, like I'm really on this mission, guys. So anyway, huge distribution on Macy's.com right now on pre-sale. International is coming in 2 weeks on VeeFriends shop. We'll be doing the fulfillment for international. But this is how you do it. This is how you get people to start getting involved. And like the more people fall in love with the be the bigger person character, right? The more things start to happen where I can do something with those 260 holders of Series 1 and Series 2, be the bigger person. Like this is super exciting. I think people are missing what real operators are going to be able to do. And I think real operators have to build affinity in the characters, toys, books, cartoons, movies, but then also build technology and utility for the original NFT holders. And I'm on that journey.
So this is like an IP play almost, right? It's kind of like Marvel. It's kind of like Star Wars.
An IP play.
So what's interesting about the way you're doing it, right, is like you start with the digital, the NFT.
Yes.
And you're working towards the physical. Whereas like traditional, like a Disney or, you know, some other big IP player, they're starting with the character and then moving to in the other direction, right?
Well, they started with whatever they started with. Pokemon started with a card game, and then a video game, and then a cartoon. Like Harry Potter started as a book.
Yes.
Like Magic the Gathering, like you know, like so. No, you start with what you start with, right? I've got a huge thing coming out with Reebok, right? So Reebok, huge collaboration coming out. So I've got, you know, with again, the aspiring alpaca, like I'm really trying to build this. And so I just broke a VeeFriend. This is very upsetting, guys. Live on the air, me trying to be cool.
So there's no NFT element to these things. They're just the
Guys, the intuitive iguana.
Oh my God, what happened?
I did bad.
Nothing, no surprise inside of there.
What's it smell like?
But okay, so with these products, there's no NFT aspect or like Web3 aspect. They're just a physical product of a metaverse NFT.
My job is to bring value. Yeah, now, if you own these characters in NFT form, you're getting this stuff for free. But but I'm doing two things at once. One, access. If you own the wine cellar background in Series 2, you came to the store, you got free wine, you got a free Q&A experience, right? And then building affinity. This collaboration, this execution is about getting many more people in the world to care about these characters, which manifests in many different ways. Ultimately, for me, the catch-all is the people owning the NFTs, especially Series 1. Like I stay up at night thinking about this. I've got 40 years, 50 years, you know, I'm 46, 40, 50, 60 years. And I've got to do as much demand creation, much affinity, storytelling, and I've got to do a lot of technology and utility, and I've got to bring value.
What's a typical VeeFriend holder like? I mean, you've probably
ran the gamut. You know, as you guys know, I brought so many new people into the space because I had a big audience, and they run the gamut, like true investors, collectors, flippers, just people that have appreciated my content that just want to own one for collectible. The same reason I collect jets. I mean, why do I have this Carmelo Anthony? He brought me happiness. Carmelo brought me happiness. You know, the Knicks didn't, you know, I like him. So I buy that. Like a lot of people like that I taught them common sense. And so they're going to buy this. You know, there's a lot of different reasons, but, you know, and then just other people in the space that, you know, I think there's a lot of people that are starting to realize during this, you know, not as hot market that it will come down to the operator. Like everyone's like the community. Well, what happens when the community loses 90% of its value? The community turns on the project. And I think, you know, it's up to the operator to rechange that momentum. And so I've been quiet, you know, I've been quiet because I've been focused, just very, very focused on what I have to do here.
In the chat, we got Brian Lowe and also me asking this question. What would you say? What do you have to say for a 20-year-old like me who wants to start his own NFT project, or perhaps somebody like Bankless, or somebody who is in content or media or just like adjacent
create, it's like making an app. Everybody wanted to make an app when apps exploded. Everybody asked me, Gary, what app should I make? I said, one that brings people value. Nothing changes. What should Bankless do? Like, I don't know, like you guys have a real fucking show. I have a funny feeling that people would like to come and see it live. Create an NFT that gives the access to the 12 live appearances in 2023, where there's a party and guests.
I think I can get Ryan Sean Adams to leave his house 12 times in 2023.
That'll have to be at your house, man. I'll just beam in somewhere.
So, I think yes to the 20-year-old. I also would say to the 20-year-old, I worked in my dad's liquor store for 14 years, building it for my dad. But I earned my stripes and learned operations. And so, one thing that a 20-year-old should consider is, especially right now, where a lot of people are not hiring as much, they can probably use good, young, aggressive talent. Maybe go get a job at one of the top 100 projects and get paid to learn. Like, I don't understand. People are willing to go into massive debt for college to learn something fake, but like then are mad at companies when they don't pay them as much as they ideologically think, yet they're learning a ton. I'd much rather, if I'm a 20-year-old curious in the space, get paid minimum wage to work for doodles than to go into debt at Wisconsin.
Totally agree.
I mean, fuck.
The time to do it is now too. It's the bear market. It's not during the bull run.
By the way, it's always the bear market. That's awesome. I'm so pumped right now. Like, I'm loving this. Like, nobody's like, I'm just trying to like work and build and make good decisions. I mean, I made a decision for GiftGoat this morning that won't manifest until August of next year. And it's a good one that I really need for that micro community, but like, they're not going to, I'm not going to get the benefit of that until August, but that's what it requires. And so you have to have the stomach to deal with like people being patient. So I'm excited. Like,
you mentioned like technology a couple of times, and I'm curious from your state, as an operator, as a builder in the NFT space, like what still needs to be built out? Like what's hard? Like, I mean, we're trying to do things
that eliminate friction, right? For example, we're going to have a massive upgrade to our website. Like, we're going password and email for the people that want to do it, and that's a Web 2 function. But that was like, you can't do that 18 months ago. It had to be all Web 3. So I think what I call Web 2.5, a lot more Web 2.5 strategies, I think matter. But there's a lot of things that quote unquote need to be built. Warm wallets, right? Like, like are starting to bloom. Like, there's just a lot of cool stuff, like unlimited stuff, like NFT readers. QR readers are nice now, right? Credit card with chip readers are nice right now. Both those didn't exist 10 years ago in America. Europe on the QR, on the chip, right? Like, that stuff's way better. And so like, we need more of that, right? We need like, could you imagine you have an NFT, there's a replicant made that can sit in a hot wallet that doesn't allow somebody to steal your actual NFT, that's validated, that you go to Madison Square Garden right there, I'm looking at it, and if you own the Common Sense Cow, you can see the Cows, the hottest band in the world, perform. I'm making up that the Cows are now a hot band, but like, there's so much. And wait to Apple and Facebook and Google, like.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Did you see this, Gary? So it's been in beta previously, but last week it looked like Meta just rolled out NFT validation for Instagram. So now you can like, and like, that's huge, man. I mean, Instagram is what? It's 1.5 billion, something absolutely massive in terms of its reach. And they are now supporting NFTs. And this is happening during the bear market.
They're all going to do it. Look, the conversation isn't about the underlying tech or the smart strategic operations. It's about speculation of pricing. It's almost like everyone's paying attention to the value of the comic books, not the ability to print, paper. if paper wasn't invented yet, the analogy is like, everyone's worried about, it's why Wall Street fucks me up. Like, everybody worrying about the stock price. All my clients at VaynerMedia have worse businesses than they could because they all care about their stock price every 90 days instead of building a real business. And so I think that's my hope, that more operators focus on not so many. You see this, you guys are paying attention. So many projects are doing such short-term things to appease a small percentage of people in their Discord who are fudding, who don't necessarily aren't necessarily doing the wrong thing. They're worried about their self-interest. They should. They're human beings. But that's a bad job by the operator. Can you imagine every head coach in sports listening to the crowd and making his or her decisions on the next play based on that?
Right. It's like steering, it's a tail wagging the dog.
100%.
Right. And it's only the operator that's going to have the vision for the long term. How do you like corral your community, or just like get them to see the same vision that you do? Is there a trick to this, or is it just like straight up being like raw and authentic?
Yeah, and just like limiting. I think I was too involved in the community early on, meaning like I was like part of it. I almost forgot it was mine. I was like, we're fucking, you know, so you need to be straight. And, you know, I think, for example, Jay Edward just had hand waved away the only semi-technical softball question. G is here to pump a bag. Jay Edward said, like, I'm really not. I'm because it's not going to work. I don't think people understand. Like, there is no pumping. Like, there is no pumping in this market. This is why I've been so utterly quiet. I just fuck with you guys, and like, I had to go somewhere to talk about the toy drop, right? And I needed somewhere to like allocate some time and talk about what I've been up to because I've been quieter. But like, my preference is to stay unbelievably quiet, and I'll tell you why. What's cool about when you're quiet is the real ones who really believe actually support, and then you're pumped when you know you're fucking got it. I know I got it. But I mean, like, you think it's gonna matter what the fuck anybody says anywhere? It's not gonna matter. Just like when I fucking sit this weekend at MetLife Stadium and eat my fucking popcorn and talk shit about Teddy Bridgewater, it's not gonna stop Teddy Bridgewater from playing a good football game or a bad football game against my Jets. And so for me, I'm actually looking to get super duper quiet, because there's an incredible feeling of knowing what I'm actually doing, and then letting the people that held all the way through, or the people that are coming in when it's least obvious, like, you're happy for that. The only part that hurts me right now is watching people sell when they don't, when like, for no reason. You know, it's one reason. Somebody sold recently and I emailed him and said, I'm happy you sold. I get that you need it. I was happy. But people that are selling out of just like some randomness, thinking that's going to mean anything, like trying to,
a lot of people just sell because things drop. That's why they sell. Somebody emailed me and said, Gary, I'm emailing you. I'm selling these 3 to make a point. And I replied and I was like, to make a point about what? He's like, well, you need to be. I'm like, I am. And then I reminded that gentleman, I got on the call with him and reminded him that I've been building businesses for 25 years. What you want the person operating to do is different than what an operator may want to do.
When you say I am, is that instant messenger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
DM.
Okay, right. Okay, they just wanted you to be interacting with them in the community. Do you have a community manager who like fills the void in your absence, or is it actually?
Oh yeah, we have tons of mods. Okay. But I want to do a lot of the speaking. But like Andy, the president, May, there's plenty of them doing some speaking here and there. Of course, so many others. Daniel, Tyler, but I like doing the speaking, but I'm not so sold like that. You know, you got to find the right balance of speaking. Mm-hmm. You know, like you want to speak when there's something to speak about.
Right.
You know, to me, speaking about the Toys R Us Macy's collaboration makes sense. Like, it's a significant distribution deal. This is not a direct to consumer thing that we've seen from every other project, where you have to send your audience to your .com. Mm-hmm. This is hundreds of thousands of people in the next 100 days during the holiday season are going to stumble on these characters, click the QR codes, fall in love, Google, buy NFT. Like, this is real.
Yeah, I think the only thing that can be done at some point with all of the skeptics and all of the people who throw FUD and shade is just like outbuild them, right? And show them on the other side. And sometimes that won't even shut them out. But that's what we're here to do.
But I like that. I like the FUD.
Yeah. Does it fuel you? Does it make you like more excited to build, or does it like, because I know some people who just, they see that negativity and it discourages them.
No. That's someone who's got to rethink why they're like what they're doing. Why should that discourage you? these people are entitled to their opinion. It's wonderful. Like, it's freedom of thought, you know?
Gary, who else is in the crypto world, NFT world, creator world doing cool stuff that you like? Or what other projects are out there that capture your attention?
You know, I'm not sure. Like, I'll give you an example. I know more what my mod Crystal does and her incredible talent in my world than I know what my homie Kevin Rose is doing with Moonbirds right now, or like me cheering heavy for World of Women, Women of Weapons, Doodles. Like, there's so many people that I hope are crushing. I'm not in the phase right now where I have a great read of what, you know, the projects are doing. Like, you know, I'm aware that Poob's NFT is 9th on OpenSea right now, because I can look at ABC, Regna, I can look at all this stuff. I see it. I just don't have the time right now. I'm not in collector mode like I was a year ago, so I wanted to know everything about every project. I'm in building VeeFriends mode for real. And that's where I'm at.
Gary, this has been a lot of fun, man. Thanks for updating us on so many things. Last question for you, just to kind of round out. We've been talking NFTs, we've been talking NFT, we've been talking VeeFriends, but zoom out to kind of, you know, crypto for a minute, if you will. What's your temperature on like crypto assets these days? You know, like the Bitcoins, the Ethers of the world?
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
If you look back to 18 months ago, I've never really spoken about currencies. I don't have a good read.
You don't even have a read. Yeah.
I really don't. I own those two. I own Solana. I don't know what else I own. And it's not where I feel comfortable, because I understand branding and human behavior and what the creators of a project can do for utility. With currencies themselves, there's a lot of need for it to do something, and I'm sure those things will come. It's just not my passion place. I've never been a financial engineer. It's not what I'm good at. I think the DeFi stuff is super fascinating, but it's a little too math for me in a world where I love the art and the human, meaning I love the math of it. I think it's very fascinating.
You're a community builder at your core.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller. I like marketing. I know why Nike's worth $1 trillion. I know why that swoosh matters. I know what I'm doing and what I'm doing. And so I try to stay where I'm comfortable, and that I'm much more comfortable in NFT land than I am in cryptocurrency land.
That's cool. Well, thanks for stopping by. And so refresh us again. When can people see VeeFriends at their local Macy's?
Mid-October, October 17th, I think, is when they really start supposedly hit the shelves. I'm a retailer, so I know some people will keep it in the back until the next week. But, you know, every Macy's that has a Toys R Us inside of it, and Macy's.com right now. And please, GaryVee.com/Discord, come and hang. Like, that's where all the alpha, all the links, you don't have to guess around or Google.
Quick question from YouTube. Will the toys be available in the UK?
Yes.
Cool.
VeeFriends shop is going to launch on the 17th, the day they physically hit stores, with pre-sale and actually purchase for international. So we're going full international as well.
That's awesome. Gary, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, gang.
And guys, go stick around. We'll include a link to the VeeFriends Discord. Take care. Bye, Gary. Our time to remind you, Bankless listeners, of course, risks and disclaimers. None of this has been financial advice. ETH is risky, so is Bitcoin. My God, NFTs are volatile as well, David. I was not told this. You can definitely lose what you put in, but we're headed west. This is the frontier. It's not for everyone, but we're glad you're with us on the Bankless journey. Last thing, if you are new to Bankless, make sure you like this episode. Make sure you subscribe. If you're listening to this podcast, rate and review on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you later.